So Donald Trump showed exactly who he was when he spoke at that panel in Chicago for the National Association of Black Journalists. Donald Trump was racist. He was weird. He was xenophobic. He showed that he had no clue what was even going on. And because he was asked some tough questions, mostly by the ABC reporter who was there, Rachel Scott, Donald Trump's now lashing out on social media. Frankly, the way he was on stage, when he was being asked normal questions, he would respond, "That's the most unfair. You're not being nice to me." I mean, grow up. For real, you weirdo, grow up. Here's what Donald Trump's posting. It's post. I'm only going to show you a handful of these posts, but this is all he's doing right now. He goes, ABC fake news, one of the worst in America. And then he reposts Amber Rose, an OnlyFans model who does these weird Bitcoin crypto things. By the way, Donald Trump selling a Bitcoin sneaker. Amber Rose changed her entire personality over the past 2 years as well. She previously said that she would be supportive of the Satanist view regarding women's reproductive rights because at least it gives women an opportunity to get abortion care, and now supports Trump. You can't make sense of what it is that she says. Thank you, Amber. Because Amber Rose goes, President Trump is absolutely crushing this interview with the National Association of Black Journalists. Objectively, he was the worst. Then he keeps reposting people who have to be nice to him. This is like Kim Jong-un level stuff right here. This is strange stuff. Thank you, Leo. It's this account, Leo Terrell goes, Trump got his message out and the Democrats are angry. Great job, Mr. President. Then Donald Trump writes, the questions were rude and nasty, often in a form of a statement, but we crushed it! Exclamation point. And then Trump's campaign put out a statement. Trump campaign statement on liberal mainstream media malpractice. Trump has continually said that unlike Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, he's running for all Americans. And if you're running to unite the country, you have to back it up with action. Members of the media need to make a decision and answer if their goal is to unite the country or further divide us. Because based on the unhinged and unprofessional commentary directed toward Trump today by certain members of the media, many media elites clearly want to see us remain divided. This is unacceptable. Okay. Just more whining from them. The questions were very normal questions. You've made racist and hateful statements. Rachel Scott, was quoting you. And I know you want to whine right now over and over and again, but she was giving you quotes. She was saying what you said and asking you to respond to it. For example, here was one of the questions. This is how you answered it. Play the clip.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
And here is another question that was asked where you could not handle the question, apparently. Play the clip.
Follow up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define it?
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
Give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir,
of
I'm
that.
asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black
I
woman. She went to a
respect either
historically black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think,
that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
it's a direct
And you were asked about absolute immunity and you couldn't handle that. Play the clip.
So Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed black woman, was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You've said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity, in your opinion?
Immunity?
Immunity.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me. Are you talking with the water, right?
Yeah, well, police unions are not backing this person either.
Okay.
But again,
they're going to be charging the officer? I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens.
Hey everyone, I want to share something that's really made a difference for me when it comes to enjoying a night out with friends. It's called ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol. Pre-Alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Every time I have pre-alcohol before drinks, I notice a difference the next day. Even after a night out, I can confidently plan on hitting the gym, enjoying a brunch, or just getting some important work done without worry. I'll be honest, I was a bit skeptical of ZBiotics at first, but then while hanging out with my friends at our favorite bar downtown, I decided to give it a try, and let me tell you, it really works. The first time I tried pre-alcohol was during a friend's wedding weekend. I had my first drink of the night, a delicious old-fashioned, by the way, right after taking ZBiotics. The next morning, I was up early, feeling great and ready to join the rest of the wedding party for breakfast and activities. It was a total game changer. With vacations, weddings, birthdays, and reunions, there's so much going on this summer. Get the most out of your plans by stocking up on pre-alcohol now. Go to zbiotics.com/Meidas to get 15% off your first order when you use Meidas at checkout. Pre-alcohol is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S, and use the code Meidas at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times.
And then you have all of your propaganda media want to act like this is like normal behavior by you. This is the Right Side Broadcast Network. This is what Trump wants to see the media like, to be clear, which is like a North Korea media channel, in my opinion. So here's what they said as part of their commentary in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, before Trump spoke. Here, play this clip.
All the media was claiming Kamala Harris, the same media, by the way, that claimed that she was once the border czar, which she was. Now they're saying, no, we never said that. They also said back then, and she campaigned on this, being the first Indian American senator elected to the Senate, although Pocahontas also had to run for her money. But, you know, she campaigned on being Indian American. Kamala Harris, Indian American. Now all of a sudden, she did a 180. She really is elevating and pushing her black side I think it's like 25%, maybe.
Well, you know, and a lot of
a lot of Black Americans.
A lot of the mainstream media is making fun of us when we say things like that, and I want to just address that because, of course, people can have various races and be mixed. I'm mixed. All of us have different mixes. That's life. That's America. We're all from different countries. We have different cultural backgrounds. Somebody can have two different backgrounds. But here's the thing. You don't pander to one race and one background and then you exploit that and you use that for your own gain versus using it as the truth and saying, well, here's my mother is this, my father is this is my background, my husband is this is who I am, and I want to be there for all Americans. No, she's not doing that. She's doing the opposite. And that's what I think is making people upset.
You talk to so many African Americans who support President Trump, and they're opposed to her policies.
Right. They don't
think she's looking out for their interests, which she's not.
And here was Fox trying to cover for Donald Trump's disastrous interview. Play this clip.
Maybe if ABC was an honest network and they had fair journalists, maybe President Trump's real record with African Americans would be front and center because he has a strong record. Also, maybe it's time for Donald Trump to reject any appearance at ABC. For example, why would he show up at their debate if the, quote, journalists clearly have opinion and want to debate Donald Trump themselves? And maybe he should just accept the Fox News channel's offer to debate. The first debate was on CNN. Why not have the second one on Fox News?
And then Hannity has Harris Faulkner, who was one of the members of the panel, and he was asking, so were there people cheering? Here, play the clip.
On the other hand, maybe I didn't hear the crowd right, and you can bring us in the room. I heard a lot of people cheering for Donald Trump. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I mean, there were people who were, he's funny. So there were people who were listening closely enough to catch some of his humor and to laugh.
Again, as my younger brother Brett said, Trump's National Association of Black Journalists appearance and his new coordinated attack on Vice President Kamala Harris's race is a clear sign that he's terrified right now. He would not be doing this if his poll numbers weren't spiraling. These are actions of a terrified, weird, and weak man desperate for attention. By the way, at the MeidasTouch Network, we made the following video further emphasizing how weird Trump is. Here, play this clip.
I can't believe I'm doing it. You know, the weird thing, when I say Hannibal Lecter, the weird magic, and it's bad news, bad things are happening. Weird. Mom, I'm sorry. Weird. I can't do it, Mom. Weird. The late, great Hannibal Lecter. Weird. There was a shark, or you get electrocuted. Weird thing. He was with 4 hookers. You think that was good that night? He's not into golden showers, as they say they call them. Weird thing.
And while Donald Trump is doing whatever the heck that was, Vice President Kamala Harris is out there in Houston last night saying things like this.
We all here remember what those 4 years were like. And today, we were given yet another reminder. This afternoon, Donald Trump spoke at the annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts. We deserve a leader who understands that our differences do not divide us. They are an essential source of our strength. So I say to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, ours is a fight for the future.
Here's Vice President Kamala Harris again. Here, play this clip.
You may have seen their agenda. They call it Project 2025. Right. And it is a 900-page agenda of extremism. Project 2025 would raise taxes on middle-class families and cut taxes for billionaires. eliminate the Department of Education, and end programs like Head Start, which of course would take away preschool from hundreds of thousands of our children. All of this to build on what Donald Trump did in his first term. When he was president, he gave tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He tried to cut Social Security and Medicare every single year. And he and his allies have tried more than 60 times to end the Affordable Care Act and to take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Remember what that was? Denying children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. And you know, America has tried these failed policies before. And we are not going back. We are not going back. We all here remember what those 4 years were like. And today, we were given yet another reminder.
And meanwhile, Donald Trump's surrogates, like Laura Loomer, who Donald Trump is a big fan of apparently, says the following. Donald Trump lifted the ban on blacks and Jews coming to the country clubs in Palm Beach, Florida. He also has a Fulton County mugshot, his own sneaker line, and 3 baby mamas. Trump is blacker than Kamala Harris will ever be, and that's one of Donald Trump's top surrogates. I want to go back, though, to what Jasmine Crockett said. She goes, maybe the next time CNN gets to moderate a debate, they can find one of the black women on staff, because this is what you do, shut down his BS mid-sentence. Also, this is why I was never convinced that a lot of black folk were moving to Trump when the media was trying to do that and Trump was doing the fake Chick-fil-A stunts, and then he rented out a black church but filled it with white MAGA supporters. Jasmine Crockett goes on to say, the level of disrespect he has for us is always on full display. And again, he had a lot to say about Kamala Harris, from challenging her blackness to flat out lying on her. The question is, will you say it to her face, Donald? You don't want that smoke. And as Vice President Kamala Harris said, say it to my face. Here's what Vice President Kamala Harris has said. Play the clip.
Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face.
Meanwhile, when Donald Trump would pretend to speak in front of black groups, Donald Trump would say things like, the fact that I'm indicted makes you like me more. The fact that I'm accused of being a criminal, that's what attracts you to me. It's racist and horrible things. Here's one example of that. Play the clip.
And then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing. So
anyway, tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.